Welcome to your Voice Your Impact show, where authentic voices spark real change and bold conversations lead to lasting impact.
That's right. This is a space where we amplify ideas, celebrate stories, and challenge mindsets because every voice matters and every story has the power to transform.
Whether you're a dreamer, a doer, a change maker, or someone simply figuring it out, we are here for you. Each week, we bring inspiring guests, thought-provoking conversations, and powerful insights to help you own your voice and leave your impact.
I am the energetic EJ, a life and transformational coach, a podcaster, and an event host. I work with women who are accomplished to turn their success into legacy influence.
Hi, my name is Olawale Afolabi, but many know me as Scott Unlimited. I'm a seasoned compere and orator par excellence, passionate about connecting people through words and purpose. Beyond the mic, I'm a business intelligence professional driven by insight, strategy, and impact.
My name is Grace So Amazing. I am an integrative life coach. I help my clients align their psychological, social, and physical well-being. I am the founder of Friends Lean On Global Foundation, a non-governmental organization that is centered on educating people about mental and emotional well-being. Like,
subscribe,
and share. Welcome.
Hello. Welcome, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the last Monday in, last Monday in January 2026. Can you imagine? Like, no. We are already doing last Monday. No. We're going to do Happy New Month. No. Valentine will come and go. Wow.
the good thing is that we did not hear that this January was 1 million days. You know, usually they'll say, this January
1 million days, so it just runs
this
past
January
by.
will come to an end. Thank God I did not hear that one. Did you hear anything around, January being too long and things are changing?
Anyway, welcome to all our viewers and to my amazing family members, my yard people, Grace So Amazing and EJ the Energetic. It's so good to see you guys back on the show, zusammen, as we say in Dutch. Like this is the first time this year that we will all be in the studio together on Your Voice, Your Impact. EJ, this year you are doing this year. How old are you?
I'm 21.
Wow! Wow! You look so agile and strong.
What else do you expect at 21?
Grace So Amazing.
Yes.
Oh yeah, where are you? I don't hide.
I am here. I'm here. You. When did you start this? Your When did you start?
Now so we see
Oh my goodness. Oh, Nigeria will not kill.
I know, right?
Last week was an interesting one. Last week
very,
was
very interesting.
A lot
interesting and an opportunity to pause and be like, wait a minute, what's going on here? What's going on here? Really, what's going on here?
Oh my goodness. But you know what? I mean, I want to play devil's advocate. Is it devil's advocate they say? When you want to support something, like I want devil's advocate. No, let me play devil's advocate because you know why I said that. And I know we can go anywhere in this thing. But anyways, if you're joining us for the first, if you're joining us today, welcome to the show. Today is Banter Edition, and we're just going to banter on things that are happening. So last week there was a rave online about Shena. I am speed.
I show
I show.
speed.
Somebody said I show slow. There's another person that did I show slow. But anyways, I show speed was in Nigeria. He's currently touring Africa, which is really a beautiful journey that he's on. But the Nigerian version really fell my hand. Like, I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. You know, something to be peppering you, like, oh my God, what is this? And the one that, really blew up the internet first was this. Funny enough, plus I show speed though, plus Egugu be careful na express they go. All of them, I was hearing about them for the first time this week. Like I heard
So
about them for the first. I didn't
Even
even
the
know.
Egungun must go.
I
Where
didn't
have
know
you
who he
been?
was. I didn't know who
Whoa.
he
it's
was.
not Grace, so
Good
amazing.
for
It's not
you.
Egungun must go.
I can understand why he's not in your radar. I can understand. Because he's I know why he won't be in your radar, because the guy what he does, the interviews and everything, you have to, I don't know, let me just keep quiet, but I can
I
understand.
really don't.
I
I
don't
didn't
follow
know.
him as well, but I've seen some of his clips.
Oh, okay. I haven't even
Grace,
seen
so
any.
amazing. Grace, so amazing.
Sir,
Say poor.
Ah.
That's the kind of interviews the guy
Oh,
has. So,
really? Oh,
yeah,
say
those are
for
say it's plenty.
it's
This kind of,
plenty.
yeah, it's one that
Oh,
and
really?
curvy people. So you know these very curvy people, they come on the show and then they twerk and they do all sorts and all that. Yeah,
Platform is this one?
because
TikTok,
that
I believe.
TikTok, Instagram,
Oh,
all social media
interesting.
platforms.
Interesting. So when I was reading the comments and people were saying BBL interview, I didn't even know what it was, and I didn't bother to go and research because it didn't feel like it's worth researching. But what I actually went to look at was the I Show Speed guy, because for me, what he's doing is incredible. Being that number one,
Audacious.
he has African blood in him. For him to be black, he has African blood one way or the other. Do you
Yes,
get?
please.
Has African descent in him. So for him to be coming all the way from the US to then explore Africa and showing, I had to go and look at his work and say, okay, who is this person? Why are we raving about him, and why is there so much buzz about him? And I discovered that, okay, this guy, okay, he's a streamer, right? Me, I did honestly, well, thank you. Shabi, you told me that I look like a grandma. I agree. The grandma. I don't know what's going on. I mind my business. I don't give a damn about what's going on there. So, but it's interesting to know that actually this is a thing. Like people stream. I've heard of streamers, but people that play game live and
Yeah.
people watch and all of that. But the other ones, I really didn't know that. Okay, it's actually, I mean, maybe on TikTok, this ASMR. People that will do people. You will see thousands of people on that live stream just listening to the sound. They would tap with their fingers. They would do sound like water in their I'm like, and people enjoy. I'm like, see here, this life. Just know what works for you
People
and
like.
go for
Yeah.
it. Different things are happening. Anyway, so when I searched, I'm like, oh, this guy is actually doing well. But to play the devil's advocate on the part of this Egogo guy that was asking rubbish question, I just feel like sometimes too, it's a two-way story. It's a story of pressure. When you are pressured, no matter how prepared you are, imagine you're going to a big stage for the first time. You've prepared, you know your stuff, but it can just fly off when you get there. Like, yeah, all the questions that are prepared, they've gone. But in that instance, is also where years of preparation comes in. Where is the case of if you press an orange, it's orange juice that will come out.
Oh, come on, actually.
Do you get? Because it is inside. So there is a level of work you've done on yourself that even when you are put under pressure, if that kind of thing happens, you've prepared. Say you've prepared all your question and you put it on your tablet, and the tablet fell down and crashed, what would you do?
Mm.
If you didn't prepare, if you didn't take time to do that preparation yourself, that's when you will be worried. Do you see what I mean? But if you actually took the time to prepare, it means that even when your device messed up, you'll be able to come back and say, you'll be able to at least remember one or two things of the things you prepared to now, So for me, it's like, okay, the anxiety is legit, is real. For example, and I know that I faced that recently at the Bridge Summit in December last year. I saw Bash the Entertainer. I don't know if you know Bash the Entertainer, Grace. The chubby, the haircut to a pepe. I saw him. I was excited, and I knew I wanted to talk to him. I wanted to have a conversation. Like, I need to do an interview with this guy. But like, out of excitement, I laughed, and took picture and left. It was after I left, I'm like, look at you, what's wrong with you? Why are you laughing? You have set your camera and do a quick interview. But as God would have it, the second day I bumped into him again. I was like, this time around, I'm ready for you. Even though I didn't know I was going to meet him, I didn't know I was going to have a second chance, right? So I didn't prepare for a question, right? But immediately we met. I'm like, you know what, guys, please, on your camera, let's do something. And I was able to still engage him in a very short interview, right? So this is what I'm saying, that yes, the fear and the anxiety in the moment is real. It can happen to anybody. But that is exactly where the place of preparation now kicks in. Where it's like, if you know how to drive, no matter how scared you are, in the moment you might, the shock. But if they say run for your life, your leg will enter that, your leg will press the accelerator and you will move. You will fly because it already reflects in you. And that's the part, that's where I came from. But I mean, it's so sad and so embarrassing that, at least, even if now one good question, if for good, but back to back silly questions, come on. I don't know.
He was the guy. He was even when the guy was like, "Pardon me now." Like,
I think the guy was irritated. You could see it in his face.
Pardon me now. This guy, what are you saying? Somebody had to interpret, for the guy to get it. And yes, I follow you and I understand what you mean, or around anxiety. It happens to the best of us. But like you've rightly said and you've rightly mentioned, when you squeeze an orange, it's the orange that will come out. It's the juice that will come out. But you know what I saw in all of this? You cannot, it's not as regular. Because if it was someone that was like, let's say you're someone that you interview people, that's what you do, and you're kind of in interviews, what you interview people, the questions you ask your guests, even the people that come on your show, if there are people that are intellectual, people that you know that you've been doing something of that nature for a while, so you'll be used to it when you're caught in a situation. So when people want to compare, they'll be like, but this guy does this thing very well now. He's been doing this, and so if they will forgive him for that mistake, they'll be like, on attention, Joe, I beg. It can happen to anybody. Anybody can fall for that kind of a thing. But when that happened, people went back, about Joe. Now women with now people will not get sense on a good day in the interview. So what do you expect? So that's all I have to do, because for the anxiety and everything, it can happen to anybody, no matter how professional you are. When you're hijacked, when your emotions hijacks you, normally, psychologically, your brain would be temporarily off your head. You will not have your rational mind there. So we can forgive that, yeah. But when he had the opportunity to pause for a while, he asked his first question. You look fit and healthy is not the one that was. He was like, that you're like, can you say when you bark or when you? That was why the guy was like, Heppo, you guys help me catch this guy. Is he all right? Is he all right? That was it for me. I was like, okay, oh no. Over
Yes,
to you,
amazing.
Scott.
Said the guy was looking at it that somebody help me, oh, help me, oh. You know they carry me, they go where I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyway, you see, for me, there are two sides to my view on this, and the first one would be Nigeria as a whole. You see, the main purpose. I don't know. I don't want to call it misplaced priority, but at the same time, it's leaning towards that because this guy is been to several other countries prior, and each country he went to, they were not rushing to their skit makers or celebrities or whatnot. Were not the ones he was approaching or meeting with. He just wanted to experience the culture. He wants to see and know and showcase what this place is all about. You know, so it was the settings of people now arranging people to meet with him was completely out of line. Like that Egungun guy, for first and foremost, was not even supposed to be there. You're not his audience. You're not part of his plan. So when you all, I feel like the guy just had to play along. Like, okay, well, this is what you guys have to offer. I'm just gonna be here, And then there was another person also who was chasing him around the city. That one even carried us to say wherever you go, I must follow you. Like even
It's
to bring out
crazy.
the masquerades, bring out the Eyo, bring out, show him the national
The
theater,
culture,
show him the
yeah.
culture, show him, take him to a local restaurant, let him eat afang soup, eat ewedu, eat all these Nigerian local delicacies,
Dishes.
let him showcase it to the world. That is what he is trying to do. But you guys just turn the whole thing upside down. And secondly, another thing that bringing it back to Egungun himself now. You see, it's a lesson for me. And I think many of our viewers today can also, pick from this. You see, we know there's been the conversation has been around for a long time now where we say niche down, choose a space and master it. But even though you're niching down, even though you're making yourself relevant in the space, still ensure that you are diverse. Yes, still ensure that you're not unaware of other things too, or other sections in your field, because naturally you're an interviewer. That's what you do almost on a daily basis. So if you did not niche down too much or too hard to only a certain kind of people, anyone that approaches you, you'd be able to what? You'd still be able to, maybe anxiety or whatnot, maybe panic, but that experience, that maturity that you've garnered through the course of of being in that field is still going to help you stand out somehow. You see? So anyway.
Honestly, and I read a post in the midst of all of this. I read a post that talked about that kind of broke down Pella's part of this. Pella is the other streamer, the Nigerian streamer that was pursuing, I show speed up and down. He had said it live on one of his streams that, so apparently I think I show speed has mentioned this a while that he's coming to Africa and all of that. So they knew he was. That's another thing for people in that space. They knew he was going to come to Nigeria. So if at all you wanted to, milk the opportunity, because that's what I see this at. They wanted to milk the opportunity, but they didn't even plan it well. They didn't do it well. Like you said, if you want to make an opportunity, you need to find out what the intention of the person is. So you play along with the intention. So you don't deviate in that. And that was what he was saying, that they were saying that I show speed is saying that I didn't come here to come and collaborate. That's not my purpose for being here. I came to experience the country. So if his experience is looking for, ideally, if they wanted to even find any way to be in the mix, you should bring forth an experience that will be that you're recommending the experience to him. And they have said that Pella has said that he would not even reach out to him. He would not talk to him. He would not even near him because he had reached out to him online and he snubbed him. Only for him to come now. You're not saying, I'm extreme, I'm big, I know. But please, let's do something. I've suffered because of you. Do you know that sound now, that sound bite now is being used
Desperate.
on is being used online now as content. Can you see? You cannot erase that out of the internet again. Like we need, like you said, Scott, it's a thing in Nigeria where we need to really, it's actually it is what you call it, it's misplaced priority, where we are now, and that's what's already happening because we celebrate rubbish.
You know, I was going to even say that. Yes, I was even going to say that I'm sure they are even laughing at us, especially everybody talking about these things. They might be saying, yes, this is what we want. You know, what's his name? I show speed. No, the Egungu guy, the Pella guy. You know, people are
When you
just
say it's
saying
the
all these
cloud, they
things.
want to talk about it. Is that one strategy?
They will tell you, but they will tell you they are the ones that they're the ones. I saw Pella when he wrote something recently that he said an outrageous amount of money, and that's another thing that I'm sure when we in our conversations we see it happen. We brought someone here on our show, somebody that did that won Guinness World Record. My dear people, the guy won Guinness World Record for something so phenomenal. But he didn't trend. He didn't trend. He didn't do, but you see maybe someone dancing, somebody doing something that may not really look, the person will trend. So they are training people to be able to see the things that will trend. They are training people to see that, look, just as authentic as you might be, you might want to do this, but there is no market for you. These people will not send you. That's why an Egungu person and the people that are posh that would ask questions like that, they cannot go and be running around. They are too intelligent to be running and doing all of those things. They'll be like, no, now, what's that? I know who I am. So then they'll tell you, I don't go school. I know Sabi that one. No, I will chase and I will make my mala. So it's really, if you look at it, you see, if you sit down with them now and they give you their own perspective, you'll be like, because on a good day, that's why he's trending. If it was like, okay, so you've been doing this for this number of years and all of that, so tell us, how did this start and all of that, it won't make any sense. It won't make any point. You'll be like regular, normal, right? So he also has his own experience, and we can't take that away from him. That may have come out, it may not have been nice, but it ties with the questions. It ties with the questions that you hear. If you check some of his interviews, you see the very nonsense. I'm sorry to say, but the questions be like, to us it looks like nonsense, but that's why millions and millions of people are watching him, and they are finding pleasure in the work that he does. So my dear, these things you don't know.
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
Please let me come in. EJ, please let me come in. I want us to, I like that Grace So Amazing mentioned money. Now, in all of this, I want to ask you, EJ, what would you say about the way nowadays everyone knows attention has become a currency of its own, and a lot of these people, the way this quote and unquote to us things that doesn't make sense is what now has drawn a lot of attention to them and is making them a lot of money. So EJ, I want to ask you, where do you think we should draw the line, or do you think this should just continue like this? Because somehow a lot of people are beginning to feel equally motivated to venture into similar things to get the attention because they know it's gonna make them money. So attention and money, EJ, where do you think we should draw the line, or how are we getting it wrong?
So attention and money is again, I understand that money can be the motivation, right? But again, it's like it depends on the world you belong to. It depends on the world you belong to. There is attention that aligns with your values. So it still comes back to you knowing who you are, knowing what you want to stand for, and knowing the vision of the future that you see for yourself. So, attention, whatever we're doing here, we need attention here, right? And we are working behind the scenes to ensure that we get the right kind of attention. But at the end of the day, it's aligned to our values. So it now begs the question, what is your value and what is the vision of tomorrow that you see of yourself? I am not here building attention just for the sake of building it. I am building, and whatever I'm building is legacy as well. I'm praying and hoping that 15 years, 20 years, 50 years from now, if the world does not end, my great grandchildren will be able to say, "Oh, do you know my grandma? Energetic EJ." Like, "Oh, no wonder you are so energetic, like your great grandma." That is what I am building. And so, because I see that future, it guides the kind of conversation that I have now, it guides the way that I show up now. Do you see? And I know, and that's the thing with what's going on in Nigeria, and where it's that even when you look at it, even down to the family level, parents are being quiet about a lot of things. Okay, they will keep quiet and they will because that's all they, and it's the level of, I don't know whether it's poverty, but again, it just goes to buttress the fact that poverty is not the absence of money. It is in the mindset. Because there are some people who don't have money as in cash, but their values, they can never break it. People will laugh at them for sure. Like, lowo to lagidi. Feel it bare. The person knows their value. They know what they are looking for. They know the kind of family they want to create. They know the kind of legacy they want to leave behind. Right? So that's why I would say that it depends on who you're talking to per time, and what their values are basically. Yes, let's begin to wrap up so that we can get our pop-up guest in the building.
Now, that's
add to
what
the
we do on your
conversation.
voice, your impact. That is what we do on your voice, your impact. If you are at Egungun and you think you want to come at Egungun, come for road.
You?
We are building legacy. Legacy. AJ, I love your response. I love it. I had to chip in.
All
Did I
right,
do
all right.
justice?
Without further ado, today is a very special edition. Today is a, one of this is new. This is spicy. This is very exciting for us, whereby we will be having pop-up guests unknown, surprise, and the conversations are going to be completely spontaneous. So back to you, EJ.
All right, thank you so much. When we made this call, we weren't sure anyone was going to take it up, but I'm glad that at least one person took it up, where we have more than one pop-up guest today. And that's my joy. And that's one of the things that drive me behind the scenes. Like, I know that if there's one person out there that's whatever it is I'm doing is blessing, I will do that thing for that one person. And per adventure, there is a multiple versions of that person across the world. So today we have pop-up guests. Now, these are two options that are open to them. They can either jump on this, studio now and join the conversation we're having about what's going on, the rave of the moment, or they can decide to switch the whole conversation to say, you know what, this is what I want to talk about, either by asking us a question or just saying, no, this is what I want to talk about, and we're going to talk about that. All right. So in no particular order, I see one of our guests already ready, set to come on board. She's even going like us. So it's coming on. It's mirroring us, right? Ojugo. Let me bring her on. And then our second guest, please be getting ready. Once you're ready, turn on your video so that I know you're set, and then we can bring you up. But for now, let's bring on one and only Lady Wumi, all the way from Abu Dhabi, UAE.
Hello,
Hello, Lady Wumi. How are you?
hello. Good evening. Good evening, energetic EJ. Good evening, Grace So Amazing, and good evening, Scott Unlimited. How are you?
We are fantastic. We are fantastic. I'm going to
Yes,
change
you can
our,
hear me.
yes.
Yes,
Awesome.
Hi,
good
We can hear
Lady
evening.
you.
Wumi. Thanks for coming.
Hello. Thank you for having. I
So,
was
yeah,
just telling EJ that am I sure I can. Can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
Yeah. am I sure I can join this conversation because I don't know what's happening. I don't know these people. I don't know the name. I've not heard it before. Maybe I'm just one of those people that I think my social media use is very, very curated. I hear what I want to hear. I see what I want to see. But anyway, but I really like the angle that EJ was talking about and speaking about legacy, being careful what you put out there and being intentional. And when she spoke about the fact that some people say, oh, yeah, because they need to make money, and which what I understand very well. So this is someone that person was saying that yes, there's this Maslow hierarchy of need. Yes, there's the first one, psychological safety, this before you now get to self-actualization. But I tell you that it's not everybody that will that have to go through that. And it's just you telling yourself, even if I don't have food to eat, even if I'm still in this place, I will not do some things. I will still want to make my life better or the life of others better. I'll be intentional because I'm sure you've read or met some people, or maybe you've heard stories about your grandparents telling you about, oh, this person is so disciplined or is so has integrity, they will not do so, they will not do X and Y because that is their value system and they've stayed with that. And I think if we can imbibe this teaching, this training in our kids, trying in this generation in Africa, in Nigeria, where it's almost as if anything goes. I think look at actually I always say that our parents were not as when I say parents, I don't mean maybe just our parents, but our parents' generation were not as buoyant, as rich, as well. Let's use word, not even wealthy, because wealth is not even have as much money as we have now. But integrity was something that they had that many people don't have again.
Yeah.
So it's not about because you don't have something that I will now go against my belief system. It's not because the belief system wasn't there at first. It wasn't grown, or we didn't take time to build those things. I was watching yesterday. I tried to watch a movie with my son. So the boy that harnessed the wind. I don't know if you have watched it before. It's not new,
Ah,
but for me, it was new. Yeah. And as I was watching, I was just asking a lot of questions to see the level of poverty that this boy was living and everybody around him. But it could have done like every the boys that like, let's just go to another place. Let's go to the city where we can make money or other things. But this boy decided that I can make a difference. I can create solution to the problem that's happening here. And what did he do? It was 14 years old. It's a true life story. I think it was 2020, 2002 or thereabouts. Okay. When he was 14 years old, when he built a windmill from scratch
wow.
with his father's bicycle, the main machine behind it. And because the town in Malawi were going through drought and people were leaving the place in and they had to say, no, I'm not going to just watch and see. I want to make a difference. A 14-year-old. So thinking about the fact that you can choose what you want to be known for, you can choose to be intentional and to create legacy. I tell my kids that when I was in secondary school, and I would go to school, even university, and I schooled very far. I schooled in Katsina State while living in Lagos State. If you know how far that is. And my father would only say, "What's your money, as in,
Mm,
it's not as if even when I was in university, we said the same thing that how much I'm giving you. Some people come to school with 10 times what you have. Some people have less or don't have anything, but because you remember the family
sure.
where you're coming from, as in, nowadays I know how many times I call my kids that are in university. I call them, you try to monitor. There was not even GSM for anybody to call you that time. If they write letter before it gets to you, anything you want to do, if you want to misbehave, you are finished misbehaving before the letter comes. Do you understand? It's just that understanding of who you are and what. And for me, being a child, being a Christian, and that's okay. I'm a child of God. Remember that this is your name, this is your surname, this is where you're coming from. So anything you do, but in the days of social media where anybody just go and talk any rubbish and say anything, forgetting that internet doesn't forget. And I tell my kids that, yes, you guys are in this generation, but it doesn't forget. Years later, you want to become a president, you want to become this, and then people will go and dig out what you've said, what you've done when you're a teenager. And you think, no, they don't forget. It doesn't, don't forget. So sorry, I think I've spoken too much. But I said I didn't have anything to say. So
So that's what it means when you have content. You don't, when the opportunity shows, you deliver. Period.
Collapse.
Period.
Collapse. They're not they find out. They say they're not they do it. They get sometimes when they talk like that. Say, you know they find water for ocean now.
Exactly.
It's full.
Very true.
It's overflowing. That's what we're talking about. Exactly what happened here. You were initially like, me, I don't know any people are talking
What will I
about.
say?
I'm not
What
even
will I say?
trending. But look at, see as all of us are like, wow. Like you took us back.
thank you.
And it's so beautiful, honestly. Like we used to we say it now that our parents and they didn't do well, but actually we turned out good. One more, whatever they did, we thank God for them. Because that strictness, that discipline, that fear of them that we have is what guided us. Like you said, no GSM, no monitoring, but you want to do that and you will hear your mom's voice. Wait, Adabi.
Adabi, where did you get that name from?
Adabi, don't me. Adabi, about be that thing as well.
Okay.
Say, unless you didn't suck my breast, unless I did not carry you on my back. That's when, if you do anything that I say you should not do, it will be well with you. When you remember that one, you will adjust yourself.
You adjust.
But now, it's like when children, even babies, 2 years old, and mommy, no, shut up. Sometimes you will stay around some kids and you'll be like, oh no,
if I spank you like you want to spank you know this what Lady Wumi said just reminded me of the fact that when I was in secondary school, I used to read novels, all these Mills and Bones. I used to read it. I didn't know that it would come and show up sometimes, like sometime in the future. So when we're having a conversation and then maybe I'm angry and I want to use one big word that is, I'll just see one very major grammar, I'll just come and wham. I'm like, where's that coming from? Where's that coming from? It just reminds us that even the social media we're following and the things we're following, you just see yourself one day behaving like one egungun or just asking questions in one funny light. And then you'll be asking, where did I get this from? Because we are constantly taking in something. So we have to be intentional about it.
Absolutely. I would love to bring our next guest so she can join the conversation. Scott, I know you want to say something. Please go ahead. JFK, if you're ready, you can turn on your video so we can add you to the stage. And okay, you're currently you are upside down, so maybe you want to turn your video, turn on auto rotate. Okay, fine, you're good now. We can see you now, so I'll add you to the stage. But yes, Scott, you wanted to say something. Please go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to buttress what you all have said, because the way Lady Wumi took us back to the roof, I think it's a very significant conversation that we need to have a little bit more than we are. In the sense that, you see, the margin between the so-called, the margin of, let me use this word because it's pretty trendy, to shame, the margin of shame that the millennials have and that which the generation of today has, that margin is far wider. For the generation of today, it doesn't matter, and it doesn't matter anymore. As long as it's going to bring attention, as long as it's going to make me trend, and as long as I trend for whatever reason, somehow I become relevant in the society, then that's it. I'm just going to go for it. as opposed to back then when we had our parents who were always ringing it. As a matter of fact, they don't even need to say too much. By the time they give you one factory reset, you don't need anybody to tell you anymore. I can remember. Anyways, that's my contribution.
I love it. I love it, honestly. And I think for that reason, I will go and drag Lady Wumi. We will come and talk about this thing. I don't know how we're going to tag it, but we have to talk about this topic, whether it's in line of parenting or in line of intentionality or something. But we need to come and sit into this conversation because I think it is very well needed. Parents needs to hear it. The younger kids, especially the ones who are a bit older, teenagers, and early 20s, because for some of them they are when we were growing up, you senior firstborn, are you go take care of the remaining children? No, so all the training is put on you, so you have to take care of the rest. But right now there's this level of individualism that has overshadowed every man for himself. Like even siblings don't even want to care about each other anymore. Like, well, oga, please, your day, let me do my day. You are different, I'm different. But we are the same family, for crying out loud. So we need to have this conversation. But let's welcome Olufikayo, Kayo De Fagbemi. So we'll call her JFK for short. But yeah, and as a matter of fact, so sorry, we did not even allow Lady Wumi introduce that, but that this thing was so deep. We're like, okay, continue, ma. We'll come back to the introductions. But yes, JFK, please introduce yourself and let us know what you want to talk about. Do you want to add to the conversation or do you want to switch it off? Switch it up.
Good day, man and sir, the only gentleman in the house. I hope you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm Oluwafikayomi Kayode Fagbemi. I'm the super errand girl of JFK Kulinja and Errand Services. I sell premium kulikuli with a give ginger. I also run errands. And I'm a principal information officer with National Environmental Standards and Regulation Enforcement Agency. I've been working there for the past 12 years. So glad to be here. And I'm thankful for the conversation. I don't think I have anything to say because what I had in mind is what Lady Wumi talked about, the fact that we need to bring back shame. So maybe when you're titling your program, you title it Bring Back Shame. I think that a lot of people in this generation are shameless. So that's what I I wanted to talk about. And as the firstborn, I can relate to what you're saying because I joined the challenge on TikTok, the one that they did 30 days talking to your camera challenge. And today is supposed to be my day 20. And one of the things I spoke about, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, was how a lot of people feel that their parents did so much and then they detach and then they dishonor their parents. And the truth is, we all have issues with our parents and all, but I don't know if I can do without speaking with my parents for years. I don't think I can because I don't think I'll be where I am today without them. And so I'm kind of dependent. You know, when people say, oh, I'm independent, I'm not independent. I can't even say that I'm independent because I can't do without my siblings and my parents. Even though I'm the firstborn, we're kind of interlinked one way or another. We can't have a conversation without, talking about one person or the other. And the kind of, I'm a preacher's kid too. And the kind of upbringing I have, just gave me this piece about marriage. So when people say certain things, I can't relate. And then a friend told me that you really can't relate because of where you're coming from. And truly, I can't because when I picture it, if I'm on a call with my mom right now and my dad is calling, she'll say, I'll call you back. My dad is calling me. And they've been married now for over 35 years. So I'm now wondering, like, can I do without my parents and my siblings? I can't. And many times, many of the decisions I make is actually linked to them because, as I said, there are some things that I cannot shamelessly do because I'm not just bringing shame to myself. I'm bringing it to my parents and my siblings, my family. So when I think about them, I'll be like, oh no, if not for these people, bye. I would have but then even my conscience as a Christian cannot allow me to do that. So I think that really this generation, we need to bring back shame, because a lot of shame. I used to think that I was shameless, but I realized that I'm really shameful. So I think that we need to bring back shame.
I love
Thank
it.
you.
I love it. Thank you so much. I love that title, Bring Back Shame. And I think it also begs for us to talk about shame in the two part that is. And we've talked about this thing before about life being in duality. It is what it is. Everything has a dual side. So there is the good shame and there is the bad shame. And what we're talking about now is bring back the good shame, because this bad shame, it has carried, as in it carried a crown and a staff and has fire in his mouth and is just spitting fire, and people are chopping it because it's crazy. But let's give the mic back to Lady Wumi. Please introduce yourself to our audience.
Oh,
Lady
sorry, I was
Wumi
supposed
is
to introduce myself before I started talking. I started talking. Hey, okay. My name is Wumi Akilosotu, we call Lady Wumi. I'm the founder of Women Ladies, which is actually a women empowerment community of business. We empower women by creating space for them to thrive economically and in personal development. And of recent, what we're doing is creating access, global access for women, especially in the African market, taking women on business tours to African countries, because actually Africa is now, I was just doing a video today and I was saying the fact that you've heard before, Africa is rising, Africa is the future. Let me tell you something, Africa is now. I'm in the UAE, right? And just a few days actually ago, the government of UAE, they signed strategic deals with Nigeria, I think Ethiopia and Kenya, and they're going to sign many more deals with Africa. And we are here as Africans, not just staying our day in our day, as they say, where there's milk and honey literally flowing in our backyard. And I was saying that, I remember some few years back when you're traveling into Nigeria, for example, let's say from London, everybody in your flights are blacks. But now, I don't know if you've noticed, if you're flying into Nigeria, you're going to kind of anywhere, there are almost as many blacks as you have the Caucasian, the Indians, and the Chinese, even with young family members. Like one person, I was like, what are they going to Nigeria? A young couple will be, they're going to Africa. So I don't know what you're doing. If you are a woman, okay, even a man, but if a woman from African descent and you've not done any business in Africa, please come. We're going to Ghana in March. Come and go and see what is happening. Make strategic partnership, connect, invest, source your suppliers, anything you can do, but don't miss out on this because Africa is now. So that's what I have to say about that. Thank you.
I love it. I love, 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 love it. Africa is now. And I think honestly for women especially, we enough, there's a lot of competition to be had though. It's we women that also still do party when opportunities are coming. We will now start thinking, okay, what if, 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 until the opportunity will just go away. So this is the time. Men are they are making their moves. All these deals that they sign, if you go and check it, the people behind it are male ministers, male this, male that. What are the women doing? Thank you, Lady Umi, for bringing that up. And we want to use this platform to also say, ladies, let's wake up. There is milk and honey in Africa. We need to go and collect our own portion. How they say, go and take your own piece of the cake. It is the time to do that. And if you get any opportunity like that, then this is one. The Blooming Ladies is taking women to Ghana from the UAE. But if you're in Ghana too, you can wait for them to come so that you can also connect with the women that are coming from the UAE to do that business. And if you're in
So sorry,
Nigeria,
only UAE. Not only UAE, women from
oh,
different parts of the world are
part
coming.
of the
So
world. Oh wow. So are they coming, are
different parts
traveling
of the
from part of
world.
the world to come? Oh wow, beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah, to get to Ghana. And some people are joining us from Ghana. even from Nigeria to come in different places.
Fantastic.
And we
That
actually
is a
partnered with Ghana National Chambers of Commerce and Industry for this. So,
Wow,
you're
that's a
meeting with
beautiful
vetted.
thing.
So it's not as if I'm just going. We're actually partner with their own
With the
chambers of
government,
commerce.
yes.
And it's a
I
9-day
love it.
talk.
When is this happening?
From March 8th to March 16th. So it's actually also the week of International Women's Day, celebrating International Women's Day in Ghana. We'll be visiting different businesses. You have opportunity to have one-on-one business meetings that's personally curated for you. You go to the different suppliers, depends on what you're looking for, but we have the 9 days itinerary. I can share later, but let's not talk
Absolutely,
about
absolutely. Yeah, you can share with us. You can share with us, and we'll probably, help with promoting it as the day comes closer. But yes, that's a beautiful initiative. Hopefully, I mean, March is still a bit away, so anything can happen. Grace, you can go and represent us there. It's closer to you for us. So just sharp, enter flight. No. Enter Ghana. We represent us. JFK, you too, a businesswoman, enter there, go and do the connections. But yeah, thank you so much, our pop-up guest today, for joining the conversation and for bringing, a bit of flavor to our conversation today. We would love to, this is our first time testing this out, and I think it's not a bad idea at all. Would love to hear from more people. So next month, every last Monday of the month, you would see us come on this Banter episode. So you want a Banter Edition, Banter episode. So if you want to be a part of that, so just pop up, share something. We are advocates for using your voice. Today we've heard from Lady Wumi and Lady Olufikayo. We have heard different things from both of them. We've remembered what they said. And if this is the first time they are being on a live broadcast, this is it. They've done it. Now they can continue to go and be doing it, right? But even if it's not their platform. It means they're in another room and they're able to still speak. They've done it. It means they can continue to do it. You never know. This platform, this simple appearance might just open other doors for them. All right. And that's why we're inviting you. Like, this opportunity it's just an opportunity for you to stake your claim, to say, you know what, I have something to say and I want to say it. And you have the platform to do that. And even if at all you don't have anything to say, I doubt it. That was what Lady Wumi opened up with. I'm not sure I can, this thing you are talking about. But look at that. She dropped the nugget that has now led to, we are bringing her back on the show. Bring her back. So we're going to find a way to bring her back. And I think March might be a beautiful time to bring you back, since it's going to tie into what you're doing. It's going to tie into the Women's Month. So we'll see how we can make that happen. But yeah, let me off my mic. Grace, Scott, want to wrap up or say anything before we wrap it up today?
It's been an amazing one. And I think I really like this, hearing from all aspects, and tying everything together, at the end of the day, by what Lady Wumi said, what Lady, today we're wearing shades, Olufikayo said, everything put together still drives what the whole show and what we're about. Using your voice for impact, number one. Number two, giving that message that is unique to you. You can just tell their values already. You know what people value from what they say. So I love the fact that we had you guys on the show, you ladies, you beautiful ladies on the show. And who would have known something happening in Ghana? You've been able to, I'm sure, I'm going to speak to my friends in Ghana. They will be a part of it. I have some friends in Ghana, they will be a part of it. Somebody out there will be saying that the social media is overwhelming. A lot of people are saying something. People that think that a lot is happening over there. No one has heard your own voice, and you also matter. So if you're always talking about people being all over the place and you're not using your own voice, this is an opportunity. We're calling you. If you have a story, if you have something that would change the life of someone out there, this is the cue you've been looking for. To talk to us, send us a message, and we will make it happen. Over to you, Scott.
Wow, I've just been sitting here patiently consuming all of the wonderful things that have been said so far. Lady Umi, thank you so much. Your initiative is one of the things that personally, as someone who has been in business development for years, this is one of the things that I've genuinely been craving. It's time we begin to sell Africa. There's a lot to sell in Africa. You see, I lived in Dubai for 9 years, in the UAE for 9 years, and one of the things that amazes me is how that nation has been able to brand themselves to make the country itself is a commodity. You see, Dubai is not selling you anything else. Dubai is selling you Dubai. You see Dubai Expo 2020, you see Dubai Silicon Oasis, you see Dubai, Dubai this, Dubai that. As a matter of fact, there was a time when I was still living in Dubai, I traveled out of Dubai. I was in Georgia, and right there on the TV, they were advertising Dubai. You see, so it's high time that, and I know a majority of this should come from our leaders, but still having individuals like you who are, bringing more further awareness. You are our own iShow speed now like this, but it's just that in a, in a business setting. So it's beautiful. I will be looking forward to see more and know more about the plan, what you guys are looking forward to do and I'm excited for you, by the way. And then in furtherance, today has been very, I think we've laughed so much today on this episode. It's been so much fun. Yeah, so thank you from my own end as well to our amazing ladies that joined. And I know we're wrapping up, but I have one question still, and anyone can, it came to me while we were talking now, and I think maybe the JFK can take this up. This the narrative, the concept you pictured about our parents, our background, and by the way, anybody can answer, so it doesn't look like I am putting JFK on the spot. So our foundation now, how do you think we were able to, because we mentioned there was no letter, there was no something, there was no something. Why did we, nowadays, yes, we are looking at Audacity, and I see that now Audacity is beginning to be masked as, shame is being masked as Audacity. We are mixing it all up. What can you tell, if one of us can touch about it, like this one that we are masking Audacity, shame as Audacity, like, don't worry, just do it, be audacious, make audacious moves. What is this one now? Can someone maybe say something about that?
Me, I want to say something about it because of my my work around shame. EJ put it very well when she said there's a good part and there's the other part, it doesn't matter. Now, shame as a whole is one of the reasons that certain people don't do certain things, because they have used the ashamed. Now you can't be shy, and because of that, even as far as people committing suicide, trust me, to always come from the psychological end. Some people are unable to do certain things, and if they find themselves in certain situations because of shame, they take their lives. So that's why whenever we have conversations like this, we have to make it, well-rounded, so that people can understand what it means. So there is the part of being shameless. You just do things anyhow because you want to have one target, or you want to meet certain you want to meet what's trending. And there's a part where you have some level of decorum, even if you want to be audacious. Now, to answer your question, audacity and shamelessness, they are two different things. But shamelessness is a tool that allows audacity to move. Give you a practical example. if you want to do something really audacious, something that would be I mean, we've been talking about it, something that would be impactful, something that would change your environment, something that would make you, because you ask the question, people are doing audacious things here and there. But at the end of the day, what's the intention behind your audacity, your audaciousness, your whatever? What's the silent message behind it? So for you to be audacious, you need to be shameless. Not worried about what people would say, not because people will definitely say one thing or the other. So if you're somebody that is too careful that they will say this person is doing this, it will affect you and it will come in I mean, it won't help you do what you're supposed to do. So to wrap it up, when you talk about being audacious, the question behind your audacity is, what's the impact? What do you want to do? And when you talk about shamelessness, is you need a dose of shamelessness to be able to achieve your audacious goals. So when we talk about it, the intention matters, and then the impact matters. And then to some people, whatever it is they are doing, they just want to be relevant. So if they have to be shameless, if they have to do what they have to do to be audacious, so the intention is what caps it all. But you need to be shameless sometimes to make things happen. And the reason why some of these good things that we do, some of the things that good people do and things that would really create impact, is because there's this shame and decorum around it, excellence, and my spec should not be caught doing this. But when you look at the back end, what's the intention? So when we bombard people with what we do because of the impact, we'll be shameless when we're doing our thing, we will be audacious when we're doing our thing, and then we'll pass the message. So that's what I would say on that.
Next. Okay, so thank you so much, Madam Grace. That was like so on point, and I absolutely agree with everything that you said. But I think that another thing again, why sometimes people see audacity as being shameless, is because our generation, like the millennial, the baby girl millennial. So many times we didn't have the audacity that this generation has given to us, because truthfully, we have the positive and negative parts of this generation, Gen A and Gen Z. And the part that I admire the most is the audacity. They push through and go for what they want. That's the part that I admire the most about them. Because in our own time, we did not have that. And that was how we were brought up. I usually say that Yoruba people are the most disrespectful people, and they are the ones that demand the most respect. And people always say, oh, Yoruba girl, I grew up in the north, so I just say I'm a northerner. But the truth is that that's who they are. And that's the reason why when you are bold enough to talk about something to somebody that is a Yoruba person, for example, they'll say, what's rude, you are disrespectful, because they don't like the truth. And so audacity, just as Madam Grace said, is the ability for you to be shameless enough to stand for what is right and pursue your goals. That's how I see it. I remember that last year I participated in Coach EJ's course, and it was on Facebook. She seemed like a celebrity, and I was like, hey, how do you chat? If you chat up this person, will she be able to respond to you? Because she felt like an influencer to me. And I've had experiences with people like that. I grew up in Abuja, where I've met celebrities on the road. And so there was this whole thing of holding back, because you feel like, I don't want people to think that there's something I want to get. And then last year, I told myself that I needed to be more audacious and pursue my goals. And I was able to push to a certain level. And this year, when the whole trending, I go sew my coat oversized, I say, exactly, that sew my coat oversized here is what I want. Because last year, I applied for things that I thought I wasn't qualified enough for, but I even passed some certain stages. So I was like, So this thing can happen like this. It means that I am not putting as much um work. I'm not putting as much effort that I need to put in being who I need to be. And so I decided that wherever I get to, if I feel like my spirit connects to this person, or I want to make sure that I have a connection with this person, I just go for it. And I approach the person and I say, I would like to have a number. And that is how I started my year. And that is what audacity is all about. The truth is, you cannot be audacious without being shameless. But the shamelessness has to do with making impact and being a person of integrity, not the shamelessness of making sure that I get to where I get to, regardless of how people feel. I just trample on people and you just show, just because you want to be relevant. And this generation, they feel like there's nothing like bad publicity. And sometimes it makes you think that, okay, can I be controversial just to get the publicity that I need? And sometimes it's not necessary, because as Ledumi said, the internet doesn't forget, and posterity will judge you for whatever it is that you've done. Because even the Bible says God may forgive you, but the consequences of your action, you will still catch up with you. Because now, if a person will be like, I can slot my way around, and then God forgives you, for example, but you happen to be pregnant as a result of slotting your way around, you will carry that pregnancy. Because I've seen people that they were pregnant and they tried several times to abort that pregnancy, and it did not work because they needed to learn a lesson. And so you may say, oh, I want to be shameless and do that. I like how Coach EJ said there's good shameless and bad shameless, because the bad shamelessness means that you will carry the consequences and posterity will judge you for it. But being good shamelessly, it means that your audacity will make you stand for the right. Your audacity will put you in the right places. Your audacity will make you stand for impact and integrity. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. Wow. Lady Umi, I know you want to say something about this. Please go for it.
Okay. Do I have to say anything again because they killed it? Actually, when we said shamelessness, it's not like you not the bad, because there's a bad shame. I think I wrote something once about the bad shame, where it's what keeps you from even going forward doing the right thing. It's what keeps you when you make a mistake, not being able to stand. Because you make mistakes, you will flop. I think even the wrong shamelessness make you start feeling judged, because you're wondering, wow, or did I say it well, or did I dot my eyes well? And before you know it, you're not doing what you're meant to do, because you're scared of what people will say, judge you. But I think what we're talking about here is the fact that before you do things, there's a part of you asking yourself, what will happen, as in what is going to be the consequence of what I'm doing? What's going to be the impact? What's going to be in 5 years' time when you look back and look at things you've done? How would they be? Your children, when you start giving, if you're a single person now, when you start giving advice to children. And for me, it's interesting that even as a single girl, some things that I did not do because I didn't want to have to explain to my children. Do you understand? So, for example, when I have girls now, I can't tell them that, oh, don't do this. But I did this in my time. How would I have that conversation with them? So for me, seriously, I started thinking about that even as a girl in secondary school, in university, that I'm going to grow up and have my own kids. I'm going to be this person. What I'm going to tell them that I did in my own time? I'm telling them, don't do it. Except I'll say, oh, don't learn, make my own mistake. But I don't want to teach them from my mistakes. Of course, I'm not saying that I live the perfect life, but I made these mistakes. But some of those conversations, I had it with myself, even as far back as a teenager or preteen, even as far back as then. You understand? So being shameful or shameless is the good and the bad part of it is what how will I put it down? Right, number one, you ask yourself, If God is here, will I be doing this thing? If my mother or my father is here, will I do this thing? The person I hold to high esteem. But even at that now, things have changed because some parents are even saying so maybe I should not even use that. Let's just use God.
Don't use that
Let's
one
use God.
because some people will say, it's not my mom. She will agree. She will agree.
And God, if God is
Be
here
like,
with
what's
you,
the intention? What's the intention behind it?
yes, and if God is here with you, I was having a conversation with my son. I said but what if God is sitting down here with you? I said, Mommy, but God is always here with me. I said, but God is always here with me, so I don't need to see him physically before that God is there. But sometimes you have to remind ourselves that God is here. Your intention, posterity. There's something that happened in Canada, and somebody was dumped of the former prime minister. What's the name? Somebody did when he was a young boy, and videos. They dumped out the videos. Well, it was a big scandal. So because seriously, we do these things, we think, and even then, I don't think there was even maybe the internet then. How old is he? But for it to be, they dug it out for him. So ask yourself, what's your intention? Are you pulling somebody else because you want to? Go ahead. Are you crossing the immoral line? And I know that yes, we're not all believers, we have the same values, but for yourself, be true. I'll end there.
To yourself be true. To yourself be true. I love that. I love that. Scott, see, she be still waiting where you carry us go now. You carry go as in boom.
The reason why I ask the question is because you see, these conversations are going on regardless. You see, there's a whole advocacy going on online and everywhere now that, oh, for you to attain so and so level now, you have to be shameless. You have to be shameless. You have to be shameless. And people are now, but they are not putting it properly. They are not putting the narrative correctly to say, you know what, you have to be shameless that we are talking about is to say, don't let fear hold you back. Don't let don't discourage yourself. Don't box yourself up. Bring out yourself. Be willing to showcase what you have. That is the kind of shame that we should be breaking it down to say that is the kind of shame that you should drop. But the shame that has to do with discipline, that has to do with morality, that has to do with godliness, and the good side of it, you cannot do without it. And now you see people also use they go about being the other side of shame, quote and unquote, and say, it's audacity. No, my dear, it is not audacity. Audacity is daring to dream bigger, daring to go after your dreams, right? Daring to put in the work. That's audacity. Daring to, let your dreams scare you. It's not about, doing what, if your mommy is there, like Lady Wumi said, or your daddy is there, or God is there, you will not be able to do it, you see. So thank you guys for your input.
Wow, what a fantastic session we had today. I love it, love it, love it. Thank you, Lady Wumi. Thank you, JFK. And thank you, my fellow co-hosts. I wish we should be doing this often. We leave it to once a week, once a month, leave it like that. Come and do Shoki Lobelge. Let them wait for the next one. When we call the next one, I better be come and put down your name down that I'm going to be on the show next month. Oh, hey. All right. So thank you so much. We appreciate you, Lady Wumi and JFK. Thank you for joining us on the show today. God bless you. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. It's been a fantastic conversation that we were having, and I hope that you learned a thing or two. I learned, at least now we're talking about the concept of shame, and we can know that if we're even having that conversation with other people in our different spaces, we can be quick to differentiate it like, if I'm saying be shameless, this is what I mean. Not that you should have shame without sense. You should not be shameless without sense, right? Have some sense, add some respect to your shamelessness, and then you'll be able to at least do things that will benefit you and benefit others, not things that will only benefit. Like when you look at it, if you're selfish with your shamelessness, that's when you will do things that doesn't make sense, because it will hurt other people, but it's to push you forward in some way, which is at the end of the day might still bite you in the butt. But let's be guided in the way that we talk about shamelessness and audacity and disrespect. There's borderline. Sometimes audacity is borderline disrespect, and disrespecting your elders and I say I'm audacious. Okay, calm down. Calm down. They don't do that. We don't do that here. All right, guys. Thank you so much. It's been a lovely session. Till we come your way again for the Banter Edition in February. I think that'll be February. I can't remember the date, but anyway, last Monday in February. Just be ready. Only God knows what would have happened before then. Now we're going to talk about Valentine is coming. Hey, why is your boyfriend? Oh my goodness. God bless you all. There will always be something. There will always be something. Scott, remember that video you showed me? There will always be something. Government is saying this one. They are using all this small talk to distract us from what's going on. Go. May God help
We even
us.
talk about Tondo Dike and her reconciliation after 10 years.
Hey,
A
beautiful.
lot, back to back, interesting stuff.
God is good. I love it. That's the kind of thing we want to see. That's when you know that okay, genuine change don't happen. You get.
Yeah.
Yes. Take care, guys.
All
See you
right.
next. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Oh, Lord.